What are the top 5 books that every aspiring Amazon entrepreneur should read? In this video, I'm going to tell you.
I'd love to get your input on this, okay? So this is a question that you can answer with me. So here's a question. Neil, I know you read shitloads of books. As I just buy these, I don't actually read them. I just like looking at it. It's actually wallpaper, just wallpaper. You know, you can get that book wallpaper for Zoom meetings. Anyway, so I read heaps of books. I love books. And question came, I think it's from John Johnson, asked me, what's your top 5 books that all Amazon sellers should read? So you tell me, what's a book that you think all Amazon sellers should definitely read? I'll go through mine and then I'll read yours out as well, and we'll kind of make a bit of a list, okay? So let me know what you think. So here's the top 5 books I reckon that all Amazon sellers should read in a particular order. So here's the order. I reckon this is number 1. David Ogilvy. Man, this guy is a freaking genius. He pioneered how to communicate and how to talk to customers, and really he made a lot of companies a shitload of money, including Ogilvy as well. David Ogilvy, listen, I put Ogilvy on advertising. It's kind of a seminal book, but read all of his books. He is extremely entertaining as a guy. I just love him. He's so eccentric. I just think it's freaking awesome. My wife reckons I'm kind of eccentric too. I don't know about that, but I do know Ogilvy on advertising, it's a must read. So that's number 1. Number 2, Robert Cialdini. Again, this is a really seminal book, but if you want to understand how little behavioral things, like little things that you can do, can mix shit up and make things happen in a much different way, not just in business, but in life in general, this is a wicked book, an absolutely brilliant book. It's a seminal book. All the other books, all about behavioral psychology, behavioral influence, shit like that, they all stand on this book, and they all reference it. Well, not all of them. Some of them just blatantly plagiarize it. But anyway, influence, brilliant book. Cialdini, get that book. Really, really good. All right, so this is a new book, but it's something that I reckon is super important as an Amazon entrepreneur. Indeed, any kind of entrepreneur is to develop good habits, And so this book, James Clear's book, is really very, very good at, first of all, making the case for developing good habits, and then giving you some really simple things you can do that when you apply them will absolutely change your life drastically, simply by some small little habits applied every day. Oop, little burp there. So yeah, really good book, James Clear. All right, so that's kind of the usual suspects, all right? I reckon that's usual suspects. So advertising, influencing, some psychology with habits. Now let's talk about some Amazon specific books. And these are kind of a bit of a cheat here. So I've got you 3 books I'm going to include as one, which is the category of understanding what the hell you sell. Massively important on Amazon to understand the design process, the production process, and the manufacturing process of the shit that you sell. And so there's 3 books I really think you ought to read, okay? This one, The Design of Everyday Things, really very, very good to give you inspiration and understanding of how to change your product to make it a better product for your customers, okay? We talk about doing that all the time, how to change the product, what you can change, what you can't change, that sort of shit. This is a really, really good book, definitely worth reading. Next, a little bit geekier, but super, super cool book, Manufacturing Process for Design Professionals. Very, very cool book. I don't read this book cover to cover. What I do with it is when I'm thinking of going into a new category, the next book too I do the same. When I'm thinking of going into a new category, I go to that specific category in the books. I'm just this book and the next book, and go research it that way. So I kind of dip into them rather than cover to cover. I'm just kind of dipping into it. Oh, I'm going to put together a, I don't know, like plastic product. Therefore, I'm going to go and just brush up on the plastic sections of these books. All right, really, really good for that. As is this one too, the materials source book. This just gives you a ludicrous amount of information on materials that get used to put together products. Plastics, different kinds of plastics, leathers, metals, woods, that sort of shit. Really, really good. Again, I'm not reading these books cover to cover, so that one and the one I just showed you. But what I do, I said do, is I look at the books, and as I'm looking at going into a new niche, I go research it so that I at least have an understanding of what the hell I'm talking about, okay? So I fudged it. They're all my number 4, okay? So those 3 are my number 4, because I thought they were all important. All right, last one, psychology book. I don't really talk much about psychology at the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs for some different reasons. I spent my friggin' formative years being a coach and talking about psychology all the time. I'm just kind of sick of it now. Instead, go read a couple of books, educate yourself. This book, really, really good. Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics, is a freaking awesome book. I reckon it's absolutely a must read. He was a plastic surgeon, and he would do plastic surgery on people who wanted to improve their lives, improve their features. And then he would notice that even though things on the outside had changed for the individual, their inside remained the same. So if they wanted to be beautiful, for instance, and he made them physically beautiful, he would notice that they still felt ugly on the inside. And so he set to researching that, which I really like, and then came up with Psycho-Cybernetics. It's a brilliant, brilliant book. Gives you some really cool tools to utilize to make some big changes in your life. Awesome stuff. All right, so that is my 5. What do you reckon is your 5? So Murray says, The E-Myth Revisited, a brilliant book. I've read all of his books. He is insane. I had dinner with him once. Not just me, me and some other people, and he was there, and he's nuts. But his book is brilliant. 12 Months to a Million, have not read that. Lots of people saying the E-Myth, which is Michael Gerber, of course. Let's just bring this up. Gerber's insane. Absolutely batty as a fruit bat. But his book is brilliant. This is, I reckon, this is a personal development text masquerading as a business book without a shadow of a doubt. Anyway, Good to Great, also a really, really good book. I've read that a long time ago now, but Good to Great. They have no, I won't spoil the book. Anyway, it's a great book, okay? And it's about how you can just look at very, very small things in your business and focus on doing small things really, really well. And if you do lots and lots of small things really, really well, the big things take care of themselves. So an example of that, I read this when I was a restaurateur, and I remember working for Marco Pierre White when he got his first Michelin star, and he was fanatical about mashed potato. He would like go nuts if the mashed potato wasn't right, because he knew, even though mashed potato is just kind of, it's mash, but if you get it perfect, you do all the little things perfectly, the big things take care of themselves. The Power of Positive Thinking, that's a really, really good one. The Magic of Thinking Big, that's a really great book. I was actually looking at that. Where is that? Somewhere over there in my personal development area. Magic of Thinking Big, really, really great book. It's quite an old book, but it's a really, really good book. Michelle, how the hell do you get time to read? I was up at 4 a.m. this morning, Michelle. I will go to bed at 10 p.m. That ought to tell you everything you need to know. Oh, Sam Walton, Made in America. What a great book that is. That's another book that's on my bookshelf somewhere. Yeah, the really good book, actually. If you're thinking of selling on Amazon, you ought to go study Walmart, because they own the market, and Walmart's actually a great place to sell now. Yeah, good book. Good. Who is that? That was Pranav. Well done. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yes, he's a funny character too. I've had dinner with him too. Rich Dada. Rich Dada. Dada. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Very cool book. It is, if you're like, I want my daughters to read this. If you're at the beginning of your journey for financial literacy, it's a wicked book. Really great. Most people are completely financially illiterate. Rich Dad Poor Dad, brilliant book. Seth Godin, This is Marketing. Yeah. This is a great book. My favorite Seth marketing book is Purple Cow, actually. Not to dispel what you've just put there, Yvette, but that's my favorite Seth Godin book. Purple Cow, really cool book. And Yvette says, This is Marketing. Oh, Millionaire Fastlane. That's another good one too. That's MJ DeMarco, isn't it? If I remember correctly. I've got that too somewhere. Here it is, MJ DeMarco, yeah. It's a really great book. It's very light on strategy, but it's very big on inspiration. So if you're looking to get re-inspired about your entrepreneurial journey, then it's a great book. If you're looking for like specific how to do shit, it's not so great. But as a book, it's fast-paced. Like his personality comes across really cool. I like that. The Power of Now, very cool. Relentless, also cool. I'm going to do one more. Yeah, 4 a.m. I know, it's insane. Emotional Intelligence. Yeah, that's also good. Unshakable by Tony Robbins. Have not read that. Richest Man in Babylon. Let's finish up with that one because that's a classic book. Richest Man in Babylon. Let me give you the richest man in Babylon in a very succinct sentence. Pay yourself first. That is the premise of the richest man in Babylon. Pay yourself first. Take 10% of everything that you earn and pay it to your own savings account. That was a piece of advice that a guy called Dr. John D. Martini, who's got some great books too, gave me at a seminar back when I was like 27. And I started doing that, and that was insanely good. Really great piece of stuff, okay? Richest Man in Babylon. It's very short. It's not a long read, but if you apply that one single thing, your life will change. I promise you, your life will change. All right, so fantastic, folks. Thanks so much for helping out with that. Hi, I'm Neil-Asher from the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, and we've helped over 2,000 people right here in Australia start their very own profitable Amazon business and go from zero to over $50 million in sales and growing on Amazon right here in Australia. We're the largest community of online sellers anywhere in Australia, and you can find out more at AussieOnlineEntrepreneurs.com.au.